Hey, Bill Walton here, Celtics 1986. You're listening to the Causeway Street Podcast. Yeah, come here for nothing but the truth. This is where dreams come true. Thank you, Boston, for my life.
All right, another episode of the Causeway Street Podcast. We got the Celtics sweeping Indiana Pacers. A lot of people didn't see that one coming. We got the Milwaukee Bucks.
Welcome back, Swayze.
Taking care of business. They brought out the broom. So now,
hold on. Most importantly, though,
we have the matchup we've all been waiting for.
the curse is done, bro. The curse is over.
Oh, yeah. What?
Yeah.
It's over.
What curse you talking about? It was no curse. What are you talking about?
Right.
Okay.
There definitely was a curse.
He guaranteed the sweep, and it happened.
I guess I got to sweep this place, right?
Yeah.
That was part of the part of my promise, right?
No,
Yeah,
that
you-
was if they didn't sweep. You were going to sweep. But they did, so you're good.
I don't have to sweep?
You don't have to sweep because
All
the
right.
Celtics swept.
By all means.
Sean's like, but if you want to, though.
But if you
Come over Saturday morning, I'll play some Juan Luis, Guerra, and we'll sweep.
Let's do it.
That happens on Saturday mornings.
That's
man.
cleaning music right
that
there,
That happens
bro.
on Saturday mornings.
That's
right here, man.
that's
You know,
soundtrack of my life,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Dude, just like it's also the soundtrack of my life now too.
Yep, that's what I do. Plenty of brooms to go around.
If you're feeling a little sweepy, come on through.
Oh, man. 2 sweeps. Because the Pacers and the Pistons. And now we have the matchup that everyone's been waiting for. And you know what, guys? Correct me if I'm wrong here. I feel like Celtic Nation is sort of 50-50 here, right? You got some people saying like, oh, the Celtics are doomed. You got the other half of Celtic Nation saying, well, if this team did it against the Bucks last year without Gordon Hayward and without Kyrie Irving, what makes you think that it won't happen this time around? But obviously, this isn't the same Bucks team we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
This is a completely different team in the sense of how talented they are. We're talking about Giannis, who Sean has mentioned before, is easily having the best postseason out of anybody else in the NBA right now. So
Easily. He's the best player in the league.
this is going to be a classic, if you ask me. This series right here will be a classic.
Yeah.
It will go the distance. I know Joel doesn't think that, but of course we'll break it down.
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
We'll get into it. We also have Zac Peloquin calling in of CausewayStreet.com. Always great to hear what he has to say.
I can't wait.
I can't wait for
to give him
that.
shit about his Pistons.
That was last year, man.
That's always his team. Man.
That's his squad forever.
Always his team.
Just like the Nets are your team, right?
They are my team.
And now they're about to go fishing.
But I told you that they're going to lose to the Sixers, so I told you that.
Yeah, well, they're going fishing now. So yeah, but we still got the Final Four here in the Eastern Conference. We got the
There we
Celtics
go.
versus the Nets. We got the Sixers versus the Toronto Raptors. So I can't wait to see what happens. But of course, I think this one will be the more entertaining series. These two going
No, I
at
think
it.
both-
Celtics versus
both-
the Bucks.
Top 4 teams in the East. Battling.
Right. I mean, we all expected.
I think
we all expected this to happen, but yeah.
But I think that the most even matchups, I think like if the Celtics are playing the Sixers, you'd obviously think the Celtics would beat the Sixers, right? But like right now, this is the most even matchup, the way these teams play, to have the best Eastern Conference semifinals. I think both series will go 7. I think both series will go 7.
Joel, what do you think?
I think the Sixers series, I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to go 7.
So
I don't think so either.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think
I'll
so.
convince you of that later.
Especially
I
if
think
Embiid
so.
can't play the entire series,
Embiid
which is
don't-
a strong possibility.
Embiid's got sore knees. Jimmy Butler likes to get ejected out of games. Hasn't been really playing to his potential.
They know Jared Dudley.
The Jimmy Butler of the playoffs
On
is,
the Raptors.
still existent.
All right, let me ask this. Let me ask this before we get into the predictions.
No one's stopping Kawhi Leonard. Just throwing that out there.
The Celtics swept the Pacers.
Yeah.
You guys surprised by that?
Well, I mean, since I did have them winning in 5, little, but not like terribly surprised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I mean, after a couple games in that series, I'm not surprised either.
Right, but also we have to remember that this isn't like a sweep where they slaughtered them every
Yeah,
single
which
game.
is-
They had to fight for all 4 of those games,
Every
which is
four-
a good thing, by the way.
It's
Which
good.
is a good thing. It is a good thing, but I also think that the Pacers just didn't show like their true colors.
I mean, ironically enough, the Pacers, they led more in this series than the Celtics did.
Right, which is the strange thing.
Yeah, that's strange.
Which
But that's what separated them as well, because the Celtics knew how to close out. Celtics knew how to do the little things that the Pacers didn't.
So
And that
are-
was
are
again
you-
experience versus inexperience.
what do you take away from the Pacers series? That's my question. That's what I'm struggling with.
How to close out games and not needing Kyrie Irving every single game. I think that's
Yeah.
the strong
Yeah.
point
The fact that
for
there
the
was
Celtics.
a
Even
leading
though they-
scorer, a different leading scorer in every single game,
Speaks volumes.
is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge,
Okay.
especially in Game 4 where Kyrie offensively wasn't having a great game. Shooting wise, who was what, 4, 14, 4,
Game
13,
four.
something like that.
I
Game
think-
4.
yeah.
But you still had 6 other guys come up big, and even the bench, especially like Terry Rozier, Morris obviously did his thing. Hayward, that goes without saying.
But I mean, I think that
Home
game
cooking.
game four was the best game that they've played in the playoffs, definitely.
No, obviously, but
Agreed. Yeah.
But in like a big game,
on the road.
I think the
the
best
entire
thing-
season
yeah, no,
goes up to that. When they went up to Toronto earlier in the year and won, right?
Yes.
That was a huge game. I think
Yes.
that rivals that game. That's
That
the
was
best
that
game
was
they played all
big
season.
because Brad Stevens had never won in
right,
Toronto, right? Or he had one. I think he had
Yeah,
one
like
win.
one.
maybe
Yeah.
one. But
one. No, but it was one. You know which one it was? It was right after the Isaiah Thomas trade, and it was Marcus Smart who had the tip in right at
Wow,
the end.
Look at his memory over here,
Yeah,
bro.
this guy.
Yeah.
Somebody isn't smoking as much weed as he used to, huh?
Wait, what?
That short-term
that just
memory's
took
coming
a
back, huh?
Awful turn. Awful turn.
All right, well, let's talk about Gordon Hayward.
It's legal now, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
Easter Sunday puts on a show. Epic performance, 20 plus points
Who?
in front of his family, Gordon Hayward.
Yep.
What does he mean moving forward? Obviously, he means a lot to the Celtics, but in my opinion, I think he's the most important player for the Celtics going into the series.
Agreed.
What do you think?
He needs to be. He needs to be. We didn't expect him. Oh, so hold on. Let me rewind. The beginning of the season, this is the Gordon Hayward we expected, right? The way the season played out, we didn't expect him to hit this stride because he never did. All-Star break was the judgment point, and he'd have a good game and then be off. Now it seemed like he's really finding his stride, and that confidence seems to be consistent every game.
Yeah, like month to month, you saw him rising.
Yeah.
like, little by little.
Yeah.
And Stevens kept saying it, like, wait, every 20 games, you'll see
20, 40, 60, 80. Yeah.
exactly. You'll see the difference and the improvement, not only in his confidence, but just his overall play. And you can see that he's comfortable now in his role.
Yeah.
And not just him, but
Team.
the team.
They
as a whole.
accept him in that
I think
role
that was the
now.
best part, especially in game 4, where this is the team that everyone expected to see when the season started, right? 4, 5, 6 guys in double figures, the deep roster that everyone was talking about, like, oh, no one can mess with this team because they're so deep, they're talented, they're deep, they're talented, and they proved how
Heard that
deep
all
and
year.
talented
Heard
they,
that all year. Though.
I know, but they're actually proving it now. That's my point. Like
Sure.
they proved for the first time in the playoffs
Against a subpar Pacers team.
against a subpar Pacers team, but what if they didn't sweep?
True. They swept. You couldn't do
You know what I'm
anything
saying?
better
Like,
than
I'm saying,
sweep
like
them.
what? Yeah, you could exactly.
Right.
Like that's the best that you're
Right.
you were gonna get.
Right.
And then you still have the critics out there like, oh, it was the Pacers though.
Right, but I
It was
think
the
what
Pacers.
what speaks volumes is the fact that they had to fight for each one of those wins, and they got it done on the road.
Yep.
And you had other guys like we talking about Gordon Hayward, of course, out of the second unit, but we also can't forget about what Terry Rozier meant to this team,
Yeah.
especially in Game 4. And it wasn't on the end of the floor that everyone expected it would be, or at least everyone was hoping it was going to be. It was on the defensive end. It wasn't
Yes,
the offense
that's
that
what
was
was
doing
there,
it. It was the defense.
He was doing
That
it
made the difference.
But in all 4 games though, the defense, the team defense, and especially those off the bench like Terry Rozier, proved the difference. And even Kyrie was playing on both ends.
Oh, he's been leading the defense,
Yeah.
which is we didn't expect that at all either.
Jaylen Brown, same thing. I know that's not Sean's boy, but he had a great 2 games on the road, offensively and defensively. And the first 2, I felt like he was more defensive minded, and that's what they needed in those first 2 games.
I don't think he's ever used a
set
broom
the tone.
before, though.
No, he definitely hasn't used the broom before. He was
By the way,
fucking-
though, you see that they closed the game out without Jaylen
think
Brown. I mean,
he-
that says a lot to me.
he was pushing like it was a fucking vacuum. But go ahead.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to use a broom.
I could just see that pissing off Sean more than anything.
Swiffer. Like, you know, what the fuck?
Papa-
That's not a broom.
Papa Pavone was just like, "What is his deal? What is he doing?"
Yo, it was like he was swinging a sword.
Yeah. No, I
He kept changing it every time too. Every time there
I
was a timeout.
first thought,
was
I was
that?
like, is he trying to do a broom or is he just
I thought he was dancing at
No,
first.
he doesn't know how to use a broom. This
I thought he
guy's
was
never
no.
broomed in his life.
No, it wasn't until one of the commentators was like, "Oh, and Jaylen Brown busts out the broom," and Papa Pavone was like, "Is that what he's doing?"
No, he's
Nah,
not.
that's not what he's doing.
No, he's not. He's not.
That's a
doing
new
that.
dance.
Yeah.
Looked like he was playing curling. That's what it looked
He
like.
was warming up the ice.
Yeah, I don't know what that
He
was.
learned how to use a broom from watching the Olympics.
Same thing, right? That's how you do it, right?
Like quick motions, like, yeah. I got it.
It's like you're not brooming anything.
All
Dust everywhere, bro.
Sway, if you came into my house and you tried to broom like that, I say get the fuck out.
Turn off one of these Guerra and you gotta go.
I would just be like,
Sean be sneezing. Like, yeah, it's dust everywhere, bro.
yo, why are you brooming the same spot over and over again? And you're not pushing it anywhere.
And where's your dustpan?
Yep, that's exactly.
That's not how we do it. No.
No, that's not how we do it. And you broom out to the door. Don't broom inside.
It's just doing it to the beat.
Yeah. Nah, man. I mean, they swept the Pacers. Great. Like, I'm not going to take away the sweep because that's the best they could have done. But.
3 butts.
If they play that way that they played against the Pacers, I don't think they're beating the Bucks. I don't think they're beating the Bucks.
Sounds like Paul Pierce over here. That's exactly what Paul Pierce said.
Is that what he said?
He said that.
Did he?
I mean,
But then how come?
if we look at the turnover factor, I mean,
Turnovers
that's
are huge.
the Bucks going to make you pay for
you want
that.
to know how many turnovers the Celtics had in the 4 games?
I know they were around 18 a game.
67 in 4 games.
What's 67 divided by 4?
A lot of turnovers.
I didn't do that. I didn't go that far, but that's a lot of turnovers in 4 games.
Yeah, Joy, you've held on to that stat for quite some time now. You didn't think to just do a little division on your phone?
It's just a lot of division to do. A lot of turnovers.
Carry the one.
A lot of turnovers. But hold on. But how about the flip side though? Yeah. What about the Bucks? Yeah, they swept the fucking an inferior Pistons team, but no one's saying, "Hey, it was the Pistons." No one's saying that.
Yeah. Got Blake Griffin playing on one leg.
Seriously.
Right, but at the same time, the Bucks
Like he literally didn't have to come back to play any of those games.
The Bucks.
Yeah, why did he do that?
Well, no, you know what? I actually wanted to say this. I'm glad you brought up the Pistons because I give Blake a lot of credit because in Game 4,
No, I give him a lot of credit, but he didn't have to come back.
he should have just after the game started and they were down, he should have just said, "I'm out." But no, he fought through.
That was the right thing to do.
He
He
powered
fouled out with like 7 minutes left, but yeah.
No, but he powered through that.
He did that on purpose, too.
No, the first half.
No, he did it. Shut up.
Give me
No,
that.
he definitely did.
He definitely did.
The first half, I saw him looking at the bench a couple of times. He's like, "Nah, man, just gotta play through this, man."
Yeah, the last foul was intentional.
Like,
He
we
knew
have no
he knew how many
fucking
fouls.
chance.
Oh, yeah,
We have no chance. No, but
Yeah.
I give it to
No, I
him.
thought you were
I
saying
give it
like
to
the
him.
whole
He
every
fought the
foul
good
was
fight.
like
He fought the good fight.
5 more to go.
I feel bad for leaving him out of my top 25 now, man. I'm not gonna lie, I do. But either way, if the Celtics play like they did against the Pacers, they will have major problems against the Bucks.
Okay.
But I also don't think that the Celtics are playing at their best right now.
Well, isn't that what Brad Stevens said? It's not the best basketball that the Celtics have shown yet.
Damn, bro. Do you want me to say something else? You want to say
No.
that's what Antoine Walker said too? Or, that's what Danny Ainge said?
Unless you shit on Kyrie, then yeah,
Trying to
Antoine.
say my
that's what he was
shit.
saying.
So everyone agrees with me. What do you feel? Jesus.
I'm just helping you out because then
No,
it's like, it's not just
Isn't that
it's
what
not just Sean.
Masseuse said to Robert Kraft?
No, well,
Oh.
whoa. It depends what we're talking about.
By the way, if that
Speaking of rubbing the broom the wrong way.
if that video comes out with no audio, I'm gonna be pissed.
Nah, man. Pornhub wouldn't allow that.
Why would you want?
All I want is-
Pornhub will make sure there's audio in there.
Why would you want audio?
All I want is the audio just to see if he's like, you can play Tom and you can play Bill or something like weird. like he goes in. I was like,
That's exactly why there shouldn't be any audio.
Yeah,
you're
why
gonna
would
be
he
meek.
Why would he be thinking about those two while that's
Seriously.
Why would he be? You tell me. Whatever. I don't want to see an old man get,
Yeah.
but
Serviced.
I do want to hear
Massaged.
how he sets it up. You know what I mean?
All right, it's going to be one of those episodes. Huh? All right, let's get to the phone line before we go down this dark path. Let's jump to the phone line and talk to Zac Peloquin of CausewayStreet.com, who I'm sure has plenty to say about the Celtics' upcoming series against the Bucks that has nothing to do with Robert Kraft.
Joel brought
Thank
it up.
God. No,
Joel
you brought it up. You brought it up. I was trying to give you like some clout. Especially those that listen to the podcast for the first time. They're like, this guy is fucking insane when they hear you say with the things that you say. I'm helping you out.
You did this.
I don't think I did.
Zac Peloquin of CausewayStreet.com joins us. Zac, what's good, my boy?
Not too much, baby. Got ourselves a little sweep, and we get to look forward to Milwaukee. And I think that's about as good as we can ask for right now.
The old deer, huh? Back in the mix.
Fear the deer.
Fear Bambi. Let's go.
Well, how much you going to fear the deer if you're a Celtics fan, Zac? Let's start right there, okay? Obviously, we're talking about MVP candidate and Giannis Antetokounmpo. In Sean's opinion, he's the best player in the NBA.
Damn right.
You
This
had
week,
this
and then
team
he'll
playing
say
at a
James Harden
high
next
level, of course, but so are the Celtics. This is, if you're the Bucks, I mean, you have to look at the Celtics team and think to yourself, you know what, this is the best we've seen all year long out of this Celtics team. They are clicking. They are in sync. Sure, the Bucks do have home court advantage, but if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, what should you fear the most about this Celtics team heading into this series?
That they're trending upward. I mean, you're seeing, like you just said, I mean, Boston is now playing maybe the best basketball they played all year. There's only one other area of the season where I thought they were actually maybe playing a little better. I think they had an 8-game win streak fairly early on in the season where they were just rolling teams. But outside of that, this is as good as we've seen them play since the new year. And, I mean, if I'm Milwaukee, this is exactly what you didn't want to see happen with Boston, where they roll through Indiana and are able to, I mean, played fairly competitive games, which I think was a much better tune-up than what we just saw Milwaukee do to Detroit. But yeah, I mean, if I'm Milwaukee, I'm not feeling great about the fact that you just watched Boston dispatch Indiana in 4 straight.
Are you concerned at all that it was against the Pacers and no Oladipo, and I think all of the flaws of the Pacers were exposed? Are you concerned that, you know, when the Celtics played well in the regular season on those stretches, they were beating good teams, top flight teams? When we talk about their West Coast trip against the Warriors, they took them down. If you talked about that 8-game winning streak, I think they beat like the Sixers and the Raptors, and they had consecutive wins against those big teams at full strength. Are you concerned that this may look like the best Celtics team that we've seen all year, but it was against the Pacers with no Oladipo?
It's definitely a legitimate cause for concern. My response to that is, I mean, it's the first round of the playoffs, so you're playing a bottom 4 team in that playoff bracket. So in reality, it's not like you were going to have Milwaukee in the first round. So as good a test as you could have in the first round, that's who you ended up with in Indiana. Obviously, if they had Oladipo, it would have been a much different series, I think a much more competitive series. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's, I think, what might be kind of paved right over in this whole thing is that it was a competitive first round series for Boston. Yes, they won 4 straight. Yes, they took care of business in each of those games. And I mean, I would say clearly the better team in that first round. But for me, I mean, at least they had normal game situations. It's not like they were winning 30, 40 points and they were just rolling over Indiana. They got to actually kind of grind out a few of those games to make sure that, you know, they don't get a false sense of security that they're something that they're not. Whereas you look at Milwaukee and, I mean, they just played a Blake Griffin-less Detroit team that basically just ripped their faces off and rolled into the second round.
Hey, half of Blake was there, bro. Half of Blake.
Half of Blake.
Those are your boys, bro. Those are your boys, right? Those are your boys.
Yeah, that's your squad, man. That's the
It is
team
my
you're
squad.
rooting
It is
for.
my squad, but they were hurting in this one. But I think that kind of hurts Milwaukee in a little bit, you know, in its own right as well, because I don't think that's really going to be good prep for what they're about to face in Boston. And I mean,
Facts.
At the end of the day, is Indiana the best tune-up? Probably not, but it's a heck of a lot better than playing a Detroit team that was really banged up in this one.
Yeah, but I'm not worried. Okay, all right.
No, go ahead, Sean.
I'm not worried about Milwaukee. Doesn't need a tune-up. They won the most games in the league. They had the best offense in the league. They had the best defense in the league. They are the best team in the NBA this year. I don't think they needed a tune-up. I think they know how to be.
I don't know. They're the
good
best
team.
offense in the league, bro.
But I can't think of another team that could have given the Celtics a better test. If we're talking about like the bottom half, like Zach said, the bottom half of the playoffs.
Sure,
you
but
know?
they barely beat them too.
All right, so then say if they were
Brooklyn's a better.
all right, so then say if they were the second seed and they were playing the Magic, would that be a better test for you? Or if they were playing the Nets?
No, I think you look at the way that the Celtics swept. They never had a legitimate end-to-end victory. Like they never led from start to finish and they didn't blow the doors off the Pacers.
Okay, but did you want them to?
I think that would have been nice to see. It's like if the Celtics play at their best basketball, which we all thought at the beginning of the season that the Celtics were going to be the best team in the Eastern Conference, and we all thought that, you know, they'd be fighting against the Bucks and the Raptors. And yeah, the Bucks and the Raptors and the Sixers, they lost a game, right? They lost game 1, but the next 4 games were blowouts pretty much every single game. Like the Celtics won 4 straight, but they never showed pure dominance over like you said, Zach, a bottom 4 team in the East.
All right.
So that's my only concern is that, like, if we're saying the Celtics are playing their best, They swept the Pacers, but they had to come back every game against the Pacers in 4 games. So is that as impressive as what Toronto's done to the Magic and what Philly's done to the Nets and what Milwaukee's done to the Pistons? I don't know.
All right, well, Zach, let's start there then. If you're the Celtics, what are your concerns heading into the series? I mean, mine is obviously Marcus Smart. I mean, he just started running on a treadmill. I think at best, maybe you see him in Game 7, but I fear the Celtics, you can't even think about Marcus Smart entering the series because he's far from even hitting the court. So with that aside, what's your biggest concern for the Celtics heading into this series against the Bucks, where they have to start off on the road, and that wasn't the case against the Pacers, of course?
Yeah, I mean, home court is certainly going to be a little bit of a cause of concern. I think Boston has to really dig in and try to win one of these first 2 out in Milwaukee to even this thing out in terms of your home court advantage. But outside of that, I mean, realistically, my biggest fear about Boston is what we saw in the first round is what Milwaukee is, that they are literally the most dominant team in the East by a wide margin, and that they are going to play like that coming right into the second round and playing against obviously a much better Boston team than what Detroit had. But at the end of the day, that they are that locked in and that they're that ready for the second round series. I think what we saw in the first round from Milwaukee was probably, I don't know how much you can really glean from that. I mean, that is not a great Detroit team that barely made it into the playoffs. And I think at the end of the day, that's not really what Milwaukee is. But if I'm Boston, who knows? I mean, if they're that locked in right now and you find them these first 2 games, you could really be in trouble coming back to Boston down 2-0.
My question to you would be, anything you saw in the Pacers series from the Celtics that surprised you?
Surprised, no, but I was very happy to see a much more aggressive and a much more well-rounded performance for both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. We saw both of those guys play a lot closer to what we saw a year ago in the playoffs and what we saw throughout most of the regular season.
Tatum's a beast.
I'm sorry?
Tatum's a beast.
Tatum is a beast. But they looked a lot more comfortable than what we've seen for most of this season, where it looked like Brad kind of took the leash off them and said, go after it, be the players that we saw, a year ago in the playoffs. And it looked like they were much more at home with themselves. Now, I don't know if that's a byproduct of Marcus Smart's minutes being kind of spread throughout that lineup a little bit more.
Good point.
I don't know if it's just the fact that the lights are brighter, or if maybe, there's something that's clicking in that locker room that they just seem to know where the pecking order is now. But ultimately, seeing those 2 guys play the way that they did a year ago, or at least approaching what they were doing a year ago, was a very, very good thing for Boston. Additionally to that, Gordon Hayward, it seems like he is starting to come around. He's looking healthier. He was able to get to the rim and be a lot more aggressive on the athletic end of the spectrum than what we've seen for most of this year. I think those 3, if they're playing the way they did in the first round and they're starting to really hit stride, that could be huge for Boston.
Quick stat for you, Zach, that I was kind of surprised when I read this. This actually came from Chris Grenham, who's a friend of the show. Nesson.com, Chris Grenham says that Jaylen Brown has played 21 playoff games and he's posted double figures in scoring in 18 of them. Wow. I'm kind of surprised by that. Sean, what's your reaction to it? Because I know how you feel about Jaylen Brown, but I mean, granted, okay, 10 points, 11 points, that's double figures, but for someone like Jaylen Brown, who obviously had a tough role the first time he played in the playoffs. This is his 3rd playoff appearance, and for him to score double figures in 18 of 21 games, I mean, I think it's a testament as to what kind of energy or production he brings this time of the year.
Yeah, man, he brings some energy.
No, he's such a hater, bro. He's such a hater. All right.
I think
can't even give him that one, huh?
He's a
Jeez.
no. Jaylen Brown is like a 14 point per game scorer. That's what he is, and that's what he'll always be.
Solid.
And he's never going to get better than that.
More shade. Okay, didn't see that one coming.
No, I mean, this time of
Why'd you
year,
even ask
because
me that question, man?
I just wanted to hear your reaction to it. Are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised at all. Double figures? Oh, double figures? Wow, that's great. Like, he's not a crappy basketball player. He should be better than double figures. He should be 20 points a game. But he's never going to be that. He's going to be a 10, 12, 13, 14 point per game average.
You know he was the 2nd best scorer on the Celtics last year, right? And they were only off by a point between him and Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum was a rookie last year. All right.
Okay, and Jaylen Brown was the second year last year.
Jaylen Brown was supposed to be coming up big last year, and
he did.
Yeah, and I said he had.
In the grand scheme of things, they're not that far off. I know you have a hard on for Jason Tatum.
Tatum is way better than Jaylen Brown.
They're not that far off, bro. They're not that far off. First of all, Jason Tatum has never had to. All I'm going to tell you is Jason Tatum has never had to guard the players that Jaylen Brown's had to guard. And in the playoffs, that's huge. Good. Especially with Marcus Smart not being in the lineup.
I would rather have Tatum guard the players that Brown has had to guard because I don't think Brown's a very good defensive player.
Okay.
All right. Well, speaking of defense,
Brown's only guarding those players because Smart's injured right now, by the way.
Well, Zach, let me ask you this. Speaking of defense, right? If you're the Celtics, what's your approach in terms of containing someone like Giannis Antetokounmpo? I mean,
Jaylen Brown, bro.
Is it the
Put Jaylen Brown on him? He's a great defender.
Shut up, Sean. Do you give him? Is it the LeBron rules?
They're not throwing Jason Tatum on him.
Do you lock down everybody else and let him go off? Do you throw different bodies at him? I'm sure that's going to be the case for the Celtics. But like, what do you do in terms of like slowing him down and making him uncomfortable if you're the Celtics, or at least making the team uncomfortable and getting the best out of the defensive side of things if you're the Celtics?
I think you break open the old Doc Rivers playbook. What
LeBron rules?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I'm with you.
Turn Giannis into a perimeter player. I mean, this is a guy who is the most dominant player inside the 3-point line in all of basketball right now. If you're turn him into a jump shooter, and if you can do that, it's going to minimize his effectiveness. I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, you're talking about a guy who struggles to shoot 30% from three, who is a guy who I don't think is quite comfortable in that area of the court right now, unless you let him get to the rim. Giannis Antetokounmpo is the most dominant player inside the 3-point line. It's a simple equation. Don't let him inside the three. Right. Easier said than done, but still, I think you have to turn Milwaukee into a team that is going to find other guys to score and going to find other guys to hurt you. And I think this is the type of series where those peripheral guys or those role players for Milwaukee are going to have to be very effective against Boston. Middleton, we know what he can do, but who's going to pick up the slack after that? If Boston's able to limit the effectiveness of Giannis, and they're able to at least be reasonably effective defensively against Middleton, I mean, who picks up the slack there? You tell me Drew Bledsoe's going to take this thing over?
That's exactly what I was going to say. And that's what everyone's been saying. Like, that's been the narrative. And I'm like, have you seen Bledsoe's numbers against the Celtics? Because they're not very good. And I think that's a huge hole in their offense if you're the Bucks, because it's like, who's picking up those points there?
Plus, Brogdon's not healthy.
Right.
But Brogdon's probably going to come back before Smart comes back. That's what it sounds like.
It looks that way. Yeah, you're right. That's true.
But still, how
effective?
How healthy is he?
Yeah,
how healthy is he? That's a big thing.
This episode of the Causeway Street Podcast is brought to you by BetOnline.ag. Right now, when you head to clnsmedia.com/win and you enter the promo code CLNS50, you'll get a 50% cash back on your first deposit. We can win big, right, Sean?
First off, bet the over. Second off, so if you really, really want to make some money, just bet that money line.
Plenty of other games to bet on, and also there's the virtual casino, and there's plenty of money to win there, of course, thanks to betonline.ag. But right now, if you head over to clnsmedia.com/win, and when you enter the promo code CLNS50, they'll give you 50% on your first deposit, so you got extra cash to play with, thanks to our friends over at betonline.ag. Head over to clnsmedia.com/win and enter the promo code CLNS50 and get yourself signed up. All right, let's get back to our conversation with Zac Peloquin.
I think when it comes to defense, it's defense by committee with the Celtics. It's just going to be a bunch of guys doing different things.
Well, when it comes to the defense for the Celtics, I think it's all going to be based on their offense. Actually, like I think that they can't.
You got to
limit
the turnovers. Yeah,
they can't turn the ball over, and they need to shoot well. Like for them to stay up with the Bucks, who I know you were doubting me, but they were the number one offensive team in the league this year.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were.
Points-wise? Or what are we talking about?
They were the number one offensive team in the league.
I don't think they were.
Number one offensive team.
They're near the top, but I don't think they're number one.
They were number one.
They weren't better than Houston, points-wise.
I'm on it, guys. Don't worry.
I'm pretty sure they were. This is a Sean Grandy fact. So I don't think I'm wrong.
Well, Brad Stevens, to get back to the defense, the Celtics defense against the Bucks, he already talked about giving Shemi Ojale some minutes, so I think that's a good look.
It doesn't. No.
I've been talking about Shemi for a while.
No, don't.
No?
You need to score. You need to score the basketball.
Oh, jeez.
To keep up with the Bucks, you need to score. So
all
you
right,
need to put your best
D'Antoni.
offensive
Jeez.
players on the court. No, I'm being honest.
You sound like
can't-
D'Antoni.
You can't put a guy on. No, you need to play solid defense, but you're not going to stop Antetokounmpo. You're
Well,
not going to stop
That's not what we're saying. We're saying
Chris
like,
Middleton. You're not going to
gonna-
stop Eric Bledsoe.
You're going to limit everybody else and kind of like what Zach is saying, like limit Antetokounmpo just barreling down the fucking lane.
But
Milwaukee's
I said
third.
limit. I didn't say
Milwaukee's
stop.
third, by the way, shooting
you.
percentage and offensive efficiency behind. Well, for shooting percentage, they're behind the Warriors and the Spurs. Believe it or not, or second. That kind of surprised me.
maybe it's first in Eastern Conference then.
Yes.
Well,
All right.
well,
Whatever.
Eastern Conference. All right.
Yeah, they top Toronto. Toronto's fourth. Milwaukee's third. Yeah.
All right. Whatever. They're a great offensive team, and they have the thing that we're saying is, let's make Antetokounmpo a 3-point shooter.
Oh no, the number one in points per game. That's what you're talking about. Sorry.
Okay,
Sorry. I got you, bro. My bad.
That's not what he said. He said
118
offense in general.
118.3.
That is the stat
Warriors are
to say
118
offense.
flat. They're 118.3.
And what's defense? What's
by,
defense?
By 0.3, they're the best.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. My bad.
They're still the best.
My bad. My
What are
bad.
you talking about?
My bad. Over the Warriors by 0.3. Okay.
They're the best offensive team in the league, and they're the best defensive team in the league.
Boston's 15th, by the way.
No, the best
And that's
defensive. The best defensive team were the Pacers. They were the Celtics just beat.
Check that. Either way, you're not going to be able to limit Antetokounmpo to be a 3-point shooter because he takes 2 steps and he's at the hoop.
All right, let's fast forward here a bit. Zach, give me a prediction, man. Put you on the spot here. Who ultimately wins this thing?
Well, call me a homer. I like Boston in 7. I think these first 2 games are going to tell us a lot. I think Boston sneaks one out, one of these first 2 in Milwaukee, gets home court, and I think in Game 7 they're going to be able to win this thing because I just like Boston's depth and the depth in that bench a little bit more than I like from Milwaukee right now, especially if Brogdon doesn't come back close to 100%. That's, I think, really the tipping point for me because I tend to think he's going to be missing something, and he is a very important player in a series that could go 6-7 games like I'm expecting. That is a very important player for that second unit, and I think Milwaukee's they're gonna struggle to be able to match Boston's depth, and I think that's going to be a huge.
Just to drop his phone. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
I just proved Joel wrong while you were talking.
My point one.
Giving stats to Joel.
No,
Utah.
the Bucks were the best
It was-
offensive
jeez.
and
The Bucks-
defensive team in the
Bucks, the Bucks are there by 0.1.
Hey,
And then Utah, and then the fucking.
we got company,
All right,
guys.
my
Can
bad.
you-
My
can
bad.
you-
Go ahead, Zach. My
Jeez.
bad.
Sorry, man.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I think in 7, I like Boston's depth, and I think the experience of Boston's going to come into play too. I think you look at the guys like Al Horford, like Kyrie Irving, and he'll tell you all about it. How much playoff experience he has, and how those closeout games are very, very important. But I think they've got a lot. They've got the experience on their side, and I think this kind of feels like one of those Cleveland teams that LeBron was on a few years ago, where they are very good, very talented. They can do anything because of how good Antetokounmpo is, but at the end of the day, I think they're going to come up a few players short.
Just imagine if he had a jump shot though. Like that's the thing. Like if he
Oh my
has
God,
a jump
he'd be
shot,
elite.
this is a completely different series. Like then you're like, oh okay, this guy can put the team on his back and beat the Celtics. But now,
He'd be the perfect basketball player at that point.
exactly, he'd be flawless.
But it's okay, guys.
He'd be flawless.
Brooke Lopez is here. Don't worry.
By the way,
Brooke.
Brooke Lopez is the best 3-point shooting 7-footer.
Oh, so that's funny because I brought up Brooke
I know.
Lopez. Actually, Zach was on the show that time when I talked about how that was a low key good signing for a Bucks team.
Yeah, no,
and
he
Sean
sucked.
laughed his
He-
balls off
He
when I said
sucked
that.
before this year. This year he comes in and all he does is shoot 3-pointers.
It's the same
Because he's
fucking
like
Brooke
the
Lopez. He's
sixth
been in the last
option.
2-3 years,
Exactly.
bro. It's the same Brooke Lopez.
No, all I know is Paul Gasol gets 0 minutes on this team.
Paul Gasol is injured, bro.
Paul Gasol's still in the league.
He fucked his
Yeah,
shit
he's
up
on the
before.
roster,
Yeah,
but he's
yeah.
not healthy.
Not
Sean
playing,
didn't do
not
his
playing
homework.
in this playoffs at
No,
all.
I was wondering why he wasn't playing.
Sean's doing his best Stephen A. Smith moment right now. But no, you know what, Zach? You said not to sound like a homer, and I can't help but think like that's what people will think when they hear that. Well, at least not a lot of people, but some people will think that, and I don't get that. Like why isn't this closer than people are saying? Like everyone's favoring the Bucks so much.
Sucked in the regular season.
But
no, I get that.
That's just it though. Like there's so much stock into the regular season on both ends. Oh, but the Celtics didn't do what they were supposed to do in the regular season. Oh, but the Bucks won 60 games. Who
was favored between the Cavs and the Celtics last year when the Celtics won more games than the Cavs, right?
It was the Cavs.
The Cavs were favored.
Exactly.
Did the Cavs have the best player in the series?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but
The
who?
Bucks
Who
are
were
the
the
best
So
next?
did the
in the
Bucks.
Yeah, but so with the okay. First of all,
okay, that proves my
What?
Gotcha.
no, but it's not just one guy though. It's not just one guy. This is LeBron versus a bunch of rookies and second year players last year, and this time around it's Giannis against Kyrie Irving, who was a fucking champion,
Sure.
and
Fucking
Al Horford and
Hey,
Jalen Brown. I'm saying like
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I mean, Giannis is not on LeBron status yet. When LeBron was on the Cavs,
Get that jump shot, Greek.
when LeBron was on the Cavs, the Celtics weren't this good either, right? So, I think it is a toss-up. I think it will be a toss-up. But I still think that when you get deeper into the playoffs, the team with the better player usually turns out that series.
But the difference between last year's team and this year's team
Right.
was a closer like LeBron versus no closer on the Celtics.
Oh yeah. No, I'm telling you, the Celtics are better than they were.
Okay, what I'm saying,
But
like,
and I don't think the Greek Freak is as good as LeBron was last year.
okay, but in this situation, this time around, talent is a lot deeper
Yeah.
than it was a year ago.
Sure. So I think it comes down to two things. I think it comes down to talent, which if you're just literally pulling from talent from top 1 to 7, it's a toss up.
No, man.
I
See,
think-
that's where
no,
that's where
no, I
that's
think
where we
it's a
disagree,
toss-up.
man. That's where we disagree.
I think it's a toss up, man. But I
We
think if you're
disagree.
talking about consistency, and I think if you're talking about
I know
just overall performance this year and who's firing on all cylinders going into this series, it's the Bucks.
But they just played the Pistons though.
But they,
You know what I'm saying? Like, if this was the
they
first
didn't-
round
They didn't
matchup?
play the Pistons all year. They didn't play the Pistons every game all year.
And neither did the Celtics play against the Milwaukee Bucks all year.
I know. I don't know what we're talking about right now. I'm saying I know, but I don't even think I know what we're talking about.
Like I get.
Yeah, I fucking know that.
No, I know, but
I didn't get it.
You have Giannis, and I know he's an MVP candidate, and you right now you're saying it this week that he's the best player in the league, but next week you'll say it's James Harden.
I never say it was Harden. I said it's Kawhi or Giannis. So get the fuck out of here.
Okay, but so your MVP is Giannis? Who's the MVP this year?
Giannis.
That's a lie. You said Harden 2 weeks ago.
All right,
Yeah, but that was
hold
before
on,
the
hold
season. That
on.
was
You
before.
guys carry this after
But
the
no,
fact.
but no,
all
but my point is
after we're done with our
All right,
conversation.
but my point is, Giannis and you're making it seem like Giannis and Kyrie Irving are so far apart, and they're not.
They're about 10 players apart.
No, they're not. That's false.
Oh, wow.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
So Kyrie's not a top 10 player.
Did you not listen to the top 25?
yeah, you had him at 11, right?
I had him at 11.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sean lives by that list, Joe. You didn't know that? All right, let's get you out of here on this, Zach. Let's look at the other side of things. On the Eastern Conference, we got the Toronto Raptors going up against the.
It's the Philadelphia 76ers way.
We got the Toronto Raptors going up against the Philadelphia 76ers. Which team you got winning this one? Because Sean's got the Philadelphia 76ers, which I don't understand why. But all right,
Nah.
Why?
nah, son. Right? Okay.
You just said it. The best player in the series wins. So Kawhi. Boom.
Yeah, number 2 on your list, Kawhi Leonard. That's
Yeah,
why.
but
You
Joel
going-
Embiid was like number 5 on my list, man.
Okay, but the 5 is less than 2. So.
Yeah,
I feel like
There's
Sean, I
not
feel
10
like-
players in between.
I feel like you fucked up with the whole Philadelphia's going to come out of the East thing, so you're just kind of like you have to like stick to it. But it's okay, man. You can just
No, I think
You
Philly's
can let it
coming out
go,
the East.
man.
Philly's coming out the
You
East.
still
Pistons
think
will be
that.
back big
Yeah.
next year. I'll just say that.
No, Philly's. I think Philly will still come out of the East.
So then why are you arguing that all year long Milwaukee was the best team, but you still think that Philly's going to come out of the East? That makes no sense. You're contradicting yourself.
1 through 7, Philly versus the Bucks. I think Philly wins that match.
Well, Philly's a deeper team. I'll give you that.
No, Milwaukee's a little bit of a deeper team, but Philly has a better 1 through 5, hands down. Philly has the best 1 through 5, hands down, in the league. Right? No. In the Eastern Conference. In the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay,
you ever heard of the
all right,
Warriors, bro? The Warriors
Well,
kind of pretty good starting lineup over
Boogie
there.
Cousins. I went over that last episode.
Well, okay. Well, I think if I had to pick out of the two, they have the better bench, but they're not going to meet each other because I got the Celtics. I got the Celtics winning this one.
Okay.
Celtics in 7. So.
All right.
Celtics in 6.
Yeah, Joel's that's 6, man. That's
6. They're gonna win game
at
1.
TD.
They're gonna win game 1 and wrap it up here at TD in game 6.
Wow, that's bold.
This is deep. This is the deep.
Oh,
roster.
I can't wait for this series. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, no,
I love it.
I can say one thing definitively.
Experience and talent is gonna beat out the
Good
fucking
shit, Joel. I
Bucks,
love
so.
it.
I can say one thing definitively. I don't necessarily know yet at this part of the podcast. who I'm
Yeah,
gonna pick
because
to win.
you're going back
but
and
it's
forth in
going
your
7.
head.
It's going 7.
You're
All right,
going
well,
back
you
and
better
forth in your
figure
head.
it out before we
No,
finish
no,
this
no,
episode.
I
no,
will.
no. Gun to your head. Who's winning this fucking series?
In Sean's words.
All right, then say that. That's
it's
fine.
done.
He
It's
said
done.
it.
He said it.
He said Milwaukee in 7.
There you go.
Just like the Celtics were going to beat the Pacers in 7. All right, cool. I get it.
What the Celtics did win.
Yeah, but you said in 7.
You said in 5.
Yeah, you said in 7.
I was closer than you were.
What the fuck were you thinking?
Yo, I did you listen to the last episode? I claimed that the Pacers fucking let me down.
He was more angry about that
They
than the
fucking
Celtics actually winning.
sucked.
Oh boy, yo, you two are so rude to our guests. All right, Zach. Hey,
My bad, Zach.
obviously,
Hey, Zach.
We love you, Zach.
we always love having you on here, Zach. Let's get you down here sometime soon. All right.
Yeah, come to
Appreciate
the new
you.
Stoods, bruh.
Let me know. I'm around.
Yeah, man, it's getting nice out. You know, we'll get the pool going, get some food going.
Oh, yeah.
We fucking said this last time, but no.
Yo, I got a
this time we mean it, man. This time it's legit. It's getting nice out there.
I got a giant inflatable bull raft.
He's not joking, bro.
Yeah,
It's a freaking.
he's dead ass about this.
Like a Chicago Bull?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
No, like
Like a mechanical bull, but
mechanical
a pool.
bull,
but
yeah.
you do a wave pool, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. All right. I'm down.
Yeah,
We'll get the countdown going, you know?
Zach is like, oh, it's like that.
Bring your big,
Oh.
any big titty friends you have, man. Bring them over.
Jeez. That's really why he bought that thing. That's the true reason for it. All right, he's Zac Peloquin, CausewayStreet.com. Check him out on Twitter. At
Well, yeah, Zach, what did you give us your handle?
Oh, Jesus. What is it now?
OTW Sports.
yeah, I don't know which one you're using nowadays. I didn't know what to say.
I kind of play with both of them from every now and again.
That's what she
That's
said.
what Zach. That's what Bob Kraft
Speaking
said.
of those big titties, at
Sassafras,
OT.
Zach's like checking his email. What's my?
Dude, what's Twitter? I don't
What's
know
Twitter?
What?
At the real Donald Trump.
Jesus.
no.
Whoa.
At OTW Sports Radio.
There it is.
There it is.
That's
All
the
right,
one.
check him out on there. Thank you, Zach.
Thanks again, Zach.
Talk to you
Until
later.
next time.
Shit, that was good.
Good stuff, Zach.
You guys fucking rattled him.
I know, man.
Jeez.
Yeah, man, we didn't rattle. He
It's all
he
over
knows
the
how it
place.
goes.
Yeah, but you made him to a
Oh.
listener. He's like, man, you guys are hilarious. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
I know.
oh shit, I gotta throw in some.
I got to speak now.
Yeah, I gotta throw in some content here.
How do you spell your name, Zach?
S. Wait, no. I'm Zach.
I'm Zach. Peloquin? Peloquin?
Oh man, Zac Peloquin joining the podcast. Here on
Yeah,
Causeway
man, I
Street.
miss Zach, man. Can I talk about Jay Crowder real quick, or can we do this?
Go ahead, man.
Yo, Jay
my
Crowder
boy
last
went
night
off.
was
He went
balling
off
last night.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Is he in the last year of his deal?
Oh, that's a good question.
You know who else
He
is in
should
the last
be.
year of the? Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
you
he
know
is.
who else is?
Yeah, he
Marcus
is.
Morris. You know who I'd love to see traded? Just like swap places, free agency.
Bring him
Bring
back to
back
Boston.
Crowder.
Ooh.
Let Marcus Morris go.
Ooh.
That's what I want.
Yo,
right
bring
now.
back Jay and Isaiah
Yo, bring back
What is his contract
Jay.
up?
Bring
this summer.
This summer?
back
Yeah.
number 99.
Just so you can wear your jersey again and get on TV, bro.
You can wear your jersey and you can wear your slides.
I love.
Believe
Jay
it or not,
Crowder.
this guy has
I love Jay Crowder.
Jay Crowder slides.
No, I love Jay Crowder, man. Literally the heart and soul of the team, man. Like, you know what? If Marcus Smart went out right now and Jay Crowder was still on this team, wouldn't skip a beat.
You know what? I mean, you got a pretty good point there. You know, Jay Crowder could fill in that Marcus Morris role very nicely.
Easily. And I think a little bit better because I don't think they would be relying on him. But when he plays and he has a role like he did in Boston, he produces, man.
He is an unrestricted free agent this summer, so that's true.
Just thought I'd throw that out there for y'all.
Little nugget.
Little nugget for you guys. Juicy over. All right. Best player in the series right now. Who is it?
It's Giannis.
Giannis,
It's not
bro.
by like.
All right. Second best. Second.
It's not 10 players.
Second
difference.
best player.
why
Second-
do you say his name like that?
What?
Giannis.
You always say Giannis.
Giannis, Yankee, whatever.
Hey, you know what I found out last night?
Do you also say
Did you guys
Jura?
watch the game last night where the guy was telling us that it's Antetokounmpo, not Antetokounmpo?
Who the fuck said that?
The guy, and he said this is what the Bucks say, and this is what the NBA says when they do their pronunciation of it. Officially, it's Antetokounmpo, not Antetokounmpo.
Nah,
So fuck that.
yeah.
Either way, we're never gonna say his name right. Either way, best player in the series, hands down, Giannis, right?
Yeah.
Nah, got me saying Giannis.
Giannis.
Second best player, Kyrie, right?
It's Euro.
Yeah.
It's not Guro.
Who's the third best player in the series?
Gyro?
Who's the third best player in the
It's
series?
not Gyro.
Tatum.
Hayward.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with Hayward. It's not anybody in the Bucks.
Not Middleton. I think Middleton's the third best player in
Nah,
the
you
series.
gotta give it to Middleton. Give it to Middleton.
Middleton's the third best player in the series.
I give him fourth.
But
He's not better than Tatum.
I think Hayward and Tatum are 4 and 5. But I do think that 1 and 3, that's they have the two out of the top three players in the series. They have 1 and 3. I think that's Middleton. Middleton is almost as overrated as he is underrated because he's so underrated. You know what I mean?
I think you have to sort of. All right, here's the thing with Middleton. I think you have to think about what he did last year,
And he killed us.
and he shot 60%.
He killed us.
Not only on the road, but in general, especially from behind the arc.
People forget.
Celtics don't have a player like that.
Last year, granted, the Celtics didn't have Kyrie Irving and they didn't have Gordon Hayward. The Bucks took us to 7 games. And the only reason why the Celtics won was because Eric Bledsoe had a meltdown.
no.
Yes, no.
The only reason, though,
Yeah, you're saying it is all because he didn't play well? Like,
I mean, that game 7 was a blowout.
we just mentioned 5 guys and Bledsoe's nowhere on this list.
But they needed him to play well because at that point, like, Bledsoe was taking a lot of shots and he was supposed to be their third best player on the team.
He wasn't taking a lot of shots if you go back and look at that. It was a lot of single-digit shot attempts. He just wasn't making it or even taking them.
He was in his head. He was losing
But,
his mind.
okay, so
Has
then
Bledsoe played good? Has
the whole
Bledsoe
Scary
played
Terry
better
thing
this
took
se-
off.
Yeah.
He didn't see that coming.
Bledsoe
early,
had a better season this year than he did last year, right?
Fucking Drew Bledsoe showed up to the arena.
That was crazy.
with
crazy,
the
man.
Scary Terry shirt on.
Like, if you're Eric, you're like, are you fucking kidding
Yo,
me right now? Like, what the fuck?
Like,
Yo, you know he was growing up and
he
everyone was
showed
like,
up. He's taking pictures with the players.
All
He
be-
shows up on the fucking jumbotron.
Yeah, but all because he was
because he
trolling,
just
though.
started
He
talking
brought
shit.
it on himself. He was trolling Terry Rozier when he said, "Who's that?" I don't know who that is.
Gets on the
He
jumbotron.
did it to himself.
It was part of the post game fucking presser afterwards, promoting his wine.
See,
Eric Gordon, he never could come back from that.
But you do
Eric Gordon overlooked what city he was fucking
Okay,
with.
if
If you don't pull that shit in
Stupid.
Boston.
if Drew Bledsoe wasn't at game 1, then we got a problem.
Do you remember Lamar Odom? remember the
If he goes to Milwaukee, we got a problem.
He better be at game. If I see Drew Bledsoe in the stands in Milwaukee, then I say Celtics win the series.
Do you remember Lamar Odom? How they fucking got all over him because he was with the uglier sister and shit like that. That's all they was chanting, and he was irrelevant in that series.
Yeah.
Well, that
Like
and,
this- like Boston-
that and crack will do that too.
Well, no, but like
definitely
he was doing
on a-
crack after that. But
No. I mean,
You
you,
can't
just don't
function-
turn
you can't
into a
function.
crackhead overnight. All right,
you
like
do if you go to the fucking Bunny Ranch in Vegas.
no, you do crack for years, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Wow, you have a problem." Like you just don't start itching your neck after like one hit. Like you do that after years of
All right,
crack.
no, but my
abuse.
point is the environment here in Boston overshadows fucking Milwaukee. I don't care
No,
how
I
many
know.
times they chant "Fear the
So-
Deer."
so-
I don't care how many times they want to chant "Bring on Boston." It's not doing that
I
compared to Boston.
hope I'm going to be rooting for the Celtics. I think the series, no matter what, is going 7. I'm not going to get high. I'm not going to get low. But I think if you look at just the emergence of Antetokounmpo, like last year, you remember last year I said, "Wow, he's having a breakout season." This year, somehow he was better than that, and
Hence why he's an MVP candidate.
well, exactly. Like he
All right.
made that next step ascension.
Okay.
That makes it very hard for the
And
Celtics
and it's
to
easier
overtake them because
I get it, but it's easier to look at how he's playing when he's playing against a shitty team.
but I'm
This
not
time around is going to be different, though.
Okay, so again, what I was trying to say earlier, the entire regular season he didn't play shitty teams.
Okay.
He was not the best offensive player in the league, but the best all-around player in the league this year.
I can't take you serious on that because it changes for you every week. It does.
Listen, when
I feel
when Harden goes on a 40, 50, what did he have, a
but you're not.
50-point
It's not.
streak?
It's not just Harden though. You're watching Kawhi and you're like, oh, Kawhi's the best fucking player like ever. And then you watch Giannis. Giannis is the best player ever. And then you watch Harden. Oh, Harden, blah blah.
I'm pretty sure that I can choose 3 players to be the best player in the NBA on a given week.
All right.
It's that fucking close. It changes that. So if I say Kobe Bryant's the best player in the NBA, then I have to just pick him to be the best player in the NBA for fucking 18 years.
Oh, it just seems like you just choose the player whatever supports your argument. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think that's true.
All right.
Have I ever said LeBron James was the best player in the NBA?
Agree to disagree. Huh?
Have I ever said
Fucking
LeBron
hate
James
that
was the best player in the NBA? No, I have players that I think are the best players. I don't think Harden's the best player. I think he's having a season that we've never seen before offensively, but I think between Kawhi and Giannis,
motherfucker.
that's on Joel right there.
Whatever.
That's on Joel. He got that in my head.
Gyro. Euro.
Euro.
There you go. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up. The same way we wrap up every single episode here on the Causeway Street Podcast with Joel's In Case You Missed It.
In case you missed it.
In case you missed it.
It's good to be back, by the way, guys. Indy's kind of a weird place, but I liked it, though.
Indy. I told you it was going to suck.
You did call that.
MAGA hats all over.
No, it wasn't even like that.
You didn't see any MAGAs?
No, I didn't see any of that. But it's funny because you forget.
Well, it's 2019, so.
You forget the culture, so to speak, but I don't mean in that sense. I don't mean in political. But when you hear people talk and the way they enunciate things, it's just funny.
I'm sure it is.
I got a couple stories to tell you guys. Well, maybe I'll tell you guys after this. I'll tell you guys off air.
Good old Luke Walton makes the podcast once again, but not because he's the new coach of the Sacramento Kings.
Sex abuse?
Yep. It's because he's being sued by a reporter named Kelly Tennant.
Wait, for real?
For sexual assault.
Oh, shit.
Mind you, this
Did you
happened.
not know this?
Me too. No, I didn't. I was just joking when I said
Mind you, this happened before he became coach of the Lakers. Mr. Walton's being sued by this reporter who alleges that Walton sexually assaulted her in a hotel room in Santa Monica back in 2016 while he was an assistant with the Warriors.
So
I'll leave that one alone.
So what is she saying? Is she saying that he raped her or what?
Are we talking about rape here?
No,
or
really, what are we doing?
booty grab?
Yeah.
40
So
seconds before this
according to
cut.
multiple reports, TMZ, LA Times, et cetera, Tennant says that she arrived at Walton's hotel. He convinced her to come up to the room so that they could discuss a book that she was working on. She claims that when they got up to the room, Walton suddenly pinned her on the bed, placing his hips and legs over her body.
Ooh.
Tennant claims that Walton then began force kissing her on her neck, her face, and her chest. And she claims that she screamed for him to stop and tried to free herself, but he held her down and groped her bosoms and her groin and rubbed his erection on her leg.
Damn, Luke.
Joel, what the fuck?
You wanted to know the details. So
I didn't
brought
want to
it-
know the details.
Don't kill the messenger, bro. Come on.
No, I'm going to, no. We had a great
Put
episode.
your knife down, bro.
We had a great episode. Now you're just like, hey, Luke Walton forced his erection on a woman.
Tennant was able to get away
Allegedly. Oh, thank
and
God.
leave the hotel room, according to the TMZ and the lawsuit that claims that Walton said, "Good to see you," as she walked away.
Now, what type of drugs was Luke on?
That's,
Allegedly.
no.
Allegedly.
Doesn't
We
say
don't know
anything.
if this happened or not.
Doesn't
But
say anything about that.
man, that's a little man.
Well, actually, to make matters worse,
Talk about a
Tennant-
bad hit after you get
Tennant
hired
says-
for a new job.
that she was later involved with a charitable organization, and they put on an event where Walton was the guest honor. When he saw her, he said, "Killing that dress." End quote.
Yeah, it sounds like he's being creepy.
But it sounds like it went further than that, and then she just
Sounds like assault.
And ever
Sean.
since
That's what it sounds
then,
like.
like every time he sees her, he's just like, "Huh, you didn't do nothing about it." So I'm just gonna just keep throwing that in your face. That
Damn.
pretty much.
Let's see how this thing plays out.
There's that. All right. In case you missed it, speaking of the Lakers, They're obviously looking for a coach since Walton's no longer at the helm.
Speaking of Luke Walton's sex assault case,
Yo, don't add us, please, guys. Like we're just going through the news here. Right?
Yeah, seriously.
This is our job.
So on the list is Monty Williams, and they're about to interview Jason Kidd apparently this week.
Just give the job to Ty Lue what LeBron wants and get it over with. Like I get it, the whole PR thing. You have to like make it look like there's
Ty,
actual candidates.
Hold on.
But just give the job to Ty.
Ty has a second interview. So he's
Oh,
been interviewed
shocker.
already.
Yeah.
Okay.
No shit. LeBron's in the interview too, right? He's going through it and telling him they're already mapping out the plan for next season at this point.
why isn't LeBron just player coaching it at this point?
Just bring that back. Just Bill Russell it.
Bill Russell it real quick.
He's in his
Fuck.
heyday.
What?
Bill Russell won a championship as a player coach.
But
Yeah, he did.
it's just a different time, bro.
But I'm just
Little
saying,
different. Little different.
I don't think it's different. LeBron's been doing it forever.
What do you mean? Oh,
Ty Lue can be his assistant, but he's the head coach. You know what I mean? So when he comes off the bench, he's the head coach.
LeBron would love that if it wasn't so like quote unquote not even frowned upon, but if it wasn't so
I feel
like
it's the I feel
taboo. If it wasn't taboo, he would be completely down with that.
Yeah, I feel
if
like-
the Lakers approached him and asked him to do it, he would be like, "Okay, yeah, let's do it." Like he'd have no problem with that.
No, I don't know. It could definitely happen. I think it could happen, especially if he brings in his guy and it doesn't work out. Yeah.
I don't know. 2019. If it was the 90s, maybe, but with everyone complaining about everything, everyone having a voice and social media, like it's just gonna be too big of a circus.
It's too much of a
circus.
risk.
Yeah.
but wouldn't it be better to be like Jason Kidd instead of Ty Lue?
Yeah, Jason Kidd's a better coach, and then Ty
Why would
Lue.
that be better?
I think Monty Williams is a great coach. Like I don't know why Tim was freaking out today when there was a rumor about Monty Williams interviewing with his son.
with the Suns, yeah.
I thought Monty Williams is a good fucking coach.
He's a good coach,
Yeah.
He's a good fucking coach.
Yeah, I think either Monty or fucking Jason would be better than fucking Ty Lue.
Yeah, definitely. Or Luke. Luke sex assault Walton.
No, he's with the Kings, bro. With the Kings.
No,
He
man.
already has a job.
I don't
Wrong
like that.
California team.
I don't like that because you know why? You know why? Luke Walton's from this like hippie background, like love everybody, and guess what?
That's Bill. Wrong Walton.
Luke follows that same pattern.
That's his son.
He's
Joel.
a Grateful fucking Dead guy too, and he's all
You
like,
know this are facts?
Oh, love everybody, love it. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I
What
do know
you
that.
usually think Luke Walton's not smoking weed growing up, bro?
You don't think-
you think he was like a
You don't
freaking
think
straight
he likes
edge
the Grateful
guy?
Dead?
So why would something like this come out like sooner? He's been coaching ever since he retired for many years now.
Yeah. What happened to Bill Cosby, bro?
Oh, jeez.
Jesus. Well, in case you missed it, the Rockets, Clint Capella has been battling
You got me too?
two respiratory illnesses during the series against the Utah fucking
I
Jazz,
thought you were going to say 2 assault cases.
pending
Allegedly.
allegedly.
By the way,
Oh,
Luke
cue up
Walton is
the
allegedly.
YouTube comment, being like, "Oh, laugh about a sexual assault, guys! Oh, great
seriously,
job,
yeah,
guys!"
Not good.
What?
Not a good look.
Like they're laughing
No one
because
laughed.
they're laughing because it's because of I'm bringing this up, not because of like the actual stuff that's going on.
Just let it go now.
like, you know, it's just-
you've already done it. Just
no,
let
it's
it go
whatever.
now.
No, I gotta explain because you know
Nah,
it's,
don't
it's
even. Just let it. It's already done.
It's my fault.
It's gone.
whatever. I gotta
Is Clint Capella going to jail or what?
No, he's battling illnesses, not cases.
Sickle cell?
No. Why are you thinking of the worst things right now? Jesus. All right. So Capella missed practice due to the illness before the series started, and pretty much throughout the series he's been on medication. During the Game 4 loss to the Utah Jazz, his eyes were extremely bloodshot. So he looked like he was high as hell, but that's not what the medication he was prescribed.
What day
That's what was doing that. These were eye drops. This is Game 4, the one that they lost.
420?
The game that they lost.
Was it on 420?
Whenever Game 4 was. Whenever Game 4 was.
Yeah, was it?
Medication and eye drops. That's what it was. That's all I'm saying. I'm not insinuating anything.
Was it on?
At least it wouldn't be the first time
Yeah.
NBA players got accused of being on weed or whatever you're alluding to while they're playing.
We gotta get Steven Jackson on the podcast.
And that's it. That's all I got
He's like, "You fucking weirdos."
for this exciting in case you missed it.
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 Oh boy! All right, we up out of here. I think I'm going to Milwaukee soon, guys. We'll see.
Yeah. Good luck.
Another favorite city of Sway's.
Yo, talk about it. Yo, there's nothing there, bro.
Yeah, there's more in Milwaukee.
You just drink Miller Lights and go watch the Brewers.
Go to Brewers game.
Yeah, Brewers game was pretty dope.
Look
I
at
went
that.
last year.
Yo,
Look at that real
I
quick.
sort of want to go with, man. Not gonna lie.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Little birthday gift.
I don't know if it'll be as entertaining as Indiana though.
Birthday's in like 2 weeks for like Game 6. Probably birthday.
Everyone in
Little
Indiana
birthday.
talks the same. It's hilarious. I forgot that
Give us a little sample.
people talk like that. I can't even do it. Sean, help me out.
By golly, how do you love our city?
I told you.
No, if there's
Get the fuck out.
Now get.
Yo, this series is gonna be classic, man. I can't wait.
No, this
Celtics Bucks. Let's
this
go.
Celtics Bucks is going to be one of the best series I think we've watched in the post Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett era. I think it'll rival last year's Cleveland series.
Oh, I think it'd be better than that.
Better than that, hopefully. Well, hey,
Yeah.
that was a great series. The Celtics push it to game.
Better than the
7.
the Isaiah Wizard series a couple years back.
Oh yeah, it'd be better than that.
Yeah, I think it will be.
The Cavs series is better
No,
than
I
that.
mean I know it was going to be, but I wanted to see. But you guys, oh yeah, it's better. All right.
No, I think it's going to be better than that. But just because this Bucks team is better than that Wizards team, and the Celtics team should be better than that Celtics team. I think I would feel a lot more confident if Isaiah Thomas.
There you go again.
It is what it is.
There you go again.
It is what it is.
There you go
We'll
again.
we'll see what happens.
There you go again.
If the Celtics,
You said that you don't believe the Bucks were 11 games better than the Celtics, and here you are talking about the Celtics will be better with Isaiah on this team. Okay,
I want the Celtics to win in 7.
By golly, that's what they
The
say. over
Celtics
there.
will.
Kept saying that over there in Indianapolis.
by golly, Sean, make up your mind.
The Celtics will push it to 7, and I'm gonna wait till our pre-Game 7 podcast to tell you who's gonna win the series. I will guarantee it's gonna go to 7.
I guarantee it.
I just don't want to pick against the Celtics. I don't. As cynical as I've been, I don't want to pick against the Celtics, but this Bucks team's pretty fucking good, man.
Yeah, I think at one point I started coming out too. I'm from Boston. I'm from Boston.
Oh, that happens, man. 2 weeks in Nashville, I came back with a twang. I remember somebody goes like, "What are you fucking saying now?"
I get a beer.
I was like, "What?" He's like, "You just said, like, are you from the South?"
I just said I wanted a beer.
Well, gosh darn it! Look at that. What did you just say, Joseph?
Plus, I was hanging with like British dudes, too.
Gee
so
golly.
Oh
I
yeah,
came back with like a British Southern twang.
it's like the weirdest combination.
It's like y'all have a proper day. What?
Fuck you just said to me.
I don't even know what the fuck that was. I'm like, yo, just fucking have a wicked good day, bro.
Hey, fuck you.
Hey, fuck you, kid.
All right, we out.
All right, later.